Oh, look at my hair. Make sure it's good. Oh, the other way, Al, the other way. Here we are. Gary, welcome, sir. Can you hear me okay on the new channel, on the new studio? How are you? All good, I hope. And I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Brilliant. All loud and clear, too. Very good. It's quite a good system. Leisure Light, welcome to the channel. So what we'll do is we'll sit and talk very leisurely today, Leisure Light, until we get a pile larger than today. So we've got so far 13 people coming in. So welcome up, Cameron. How are you, mate? Welcome into the channel. And we will continue with the chat or start the chat about what's happening in the following moments. So what a day for me. What a day for me. Who else has had a nice day? Lexi. Oh my goodness, there's two of them in. Wow. If we see Amy, then we're in serious bother. We're in serious bother altogether. Everyone got notified that I was here? Everyone okay with what's going on? This is all new to me. This is a brand new studio setup that I've had. I'm no longer working from a mobile phone. This is a professional camera and a professional speaker or a professional microphone. Boop, 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 boop. I don't know if it works. Hello, testes. Yeah, maybe it doesn't. Anyway, there it is. So I hope you hear my voice. Yeah, good setup. Andrew, welcome, sir. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining me, mate. So we're just sitting and talking leisurely today. I'll just wait till everyone comes in. I don't know where. Yes, that is a Blue Yeti, Cameron. That is a Blue Yeti. Yes, it is. In fact, yeah, that is a Blue Yeti mic. Yeah. You knew that because I think you were there with me when I bought it, were you not? You douche. Anyway, whatever. There's more Yetis coming because we've got an interview panel to start as well because the new podcast will start. Well, the girls were with me, maybe with me. Anyway, Jay, welcome again. Oh, are you really? You are, wow, okay. So what we'll do is we'll talk a bit about taxes and we'll set that 3. So make sure you're ready for the communication about that. I'll ask you later on about that. Love the signs. That's the ones I got. Got them in hello. Kaloop, welcome to the channel. It's good to see people joining me, and it's going to start getting a bit more intense in a minute. We're just talk casually at the minute, but if anyone knows me, I start going mad once I see a few people in. So yeah. So if anyone's seen some of the lives I was doing recently, the lives that I was doing was the packing. That's coming to an end for me very soon. I'm not sure. I might do one. During the week every week. There was 123 parcels, Jay. We've done it really, really quick. Jason, welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for being a super member. I appreciate your patronage. So yeah, in regards to the eBay business, it is doing very well. You watched it. Is that right? I did not realize that, Chris. Yeah, I'm a big beekeeper. I tend not to show that, do I? Anyway, how do we move forward? We've got now 40 people speaking to us online. So thank you very much for joining me. Let's get down to it. Gavin, welcome. So number 1, let's go on a 5-minute segment about eBay first of all. So far, as you've seen through my lives, which is really great, massive traction. I'm getting an average of 6,000 to 7,000 people a day watching me on the live packing. And I never expected it to be so successful. So what is happening? Welcome, Anthony. Yeah, when's Albay starting? I would love to start an eBay. I really would. Jeepers, my 3 children are on. Amy, welcome, darling. And yeah, thank you very much, Lexi, for joining, and Amy joining, and Cameron. I appreciate you all being here. But anyway, so where are we? So eBay is finally back to normal. Not only is it back to normal, it's actually grown beyond what I was doing in January and February. It's actually growing to the same state as I was in November. Currently, looking at the numbers, this week I have sold just over £7,800 of products in the last 7 days, of which my net profit is about £4,000. So you can imagine the sheer cost of doing $7,000 of business is exactly not what I wanted to tell you the news about, but that's a lot of dough. And that includes postage charges. The postage I do for free at the minute. And due to that, I believe that my sales are a lot better as a consequence of me doing free postage, heavily discounted, and paying in and around 20 to 30% in advertising fees and anchor fees and final value fees. So is it worth it? We employ staff. We used to have 8 back in November. It was reduced to 4 in January. And then, of course, we've reduced it again to 3 to succeed with the current obligation where eBay are taking a lot more money from me. What has happened with that is that I felt that now we're at a listing deficit. So my 3 staff can only afford to do an average of 1 listing for every 10 minutes they work. That's 10 minutes they work simply on listing. So they get a moment in their time of their day where they're constantly listing. And at the minute, because of the business, there is only the ability to do an average of about 25 listings a day per person. Given the fact that there are 3 of them, that's 75. And I'm selling approximately 120 to 150 items a day. This is good. This is not good because the cost of the profit yield can only afford to pay for the 3 staff that I currently have. And this is something that really worries me. So I've decided quite aptly decided that I'm now going to go into mainstream purchases. I'm no longer, well, I am going to still buy from my suppliers throughout Northern Ireland, but that's not going to be my main income anymore. My main income is going to be palletized stock. That way my staff can do less listing and more selling. And that's the way that the market has tread and gone as a consequence of their behaviors of seeking more money. And I can no longer afford to have staff constantly listing one-off items that we get in now and again in pallet loads. That's something that is no longer viable as an eBay model. And that's because of the sheer cost of supplying services. Really, what eBay have done from that point of view is that now eBay are, without a doubt, just another Amazon. They're as greedy as eBay or as Amazon, but it's about pushing the business down. If business changes or something changes, such as if we manage to take a picture with a phone and we are able to list it with simply a phone picture click and the AI bot, yes, no, they haven't, Anthony. And so Anthony's asked the question, eBay or someone didn't make a listing about the AI bot. The answer is absolutely not. We have not got a foolproof system that we can develop that allows our products to be listed 100-fold, 200-fold. I wish to God there was such a thing right now because I need it. So I'm going to have to go with mass stocking of a one item, such as, say, for example, what we're doing is I am buying 20 grand's worth of stock in the next coming weeks. of Max Factor, of Rimmel, of every single thing that you could put on your makeup. And that allows people, or my staff, to list their stock at a level that's quicker. So they can get 100 listings done in a day, but still sell 100 to 150 items based on its current projections. Now, if everyone gets onto the eBay system and they all pay like I have been paying, well, then I'm absolutely going to be competing for a lot less of the pie for much more money. And that is really going to push my business over the edge where I can no longer make it viable to stay in business. And that will be a sad time for it. I wonder, will everyone, including the smaller traders like yourselves or bigger traders, get involved with the business to a point where where to a point where, let's say, for example, we all pay for every 10 grand, we pay 3 grand to eBay. If you look at it, the margins are not good enough for the likes of this big parcel business that I'm doing. So I don't know which way it's going to go. And I'm not sure about the future. There are new things that I'm developing also. So my brand, which is my name, who I am, we have a new store that's being developed, and hopefully there's a member here in the chat program who I hope will be helping me with this business. And this business will be my own shop, my own branded shop, such as Big Al Superstore or Big Al Store. And in that way, I'll be able to derive my own product lines, start my own things such as this, and allow myself to start developing my own income. Not dependent on eBay or Amazon and their rules and their greed. And right now, it used to be about rules. It used to be eBay was a problem about rules, but it's now about the money as well. And Amazon was always about the money. We knew that if we put 1,000 products with Amazon, our net profits were so small, it was ridiculous. But eBay has become that way as well. But I've managed to save the business. And I've managed to save the business with a absolute foresight and a design in my mind and a strength in my mind to push this forward to a point where I no longer require eBay. So the tax on this and the tax losses on this are going to be phenomenal. Now, there's people that have asked me about tax, so I'll speak about that in a minute. So I'm most sure that I will be losing money on my VAT, where my stock is coming to a point where it's zeroing out on its cost, and I get my VAT back on that. So I'll be making VAT reclaims on the business. So the inland revenue will be actually paying for the profitability of my business due to the tax refunds that I'll be getting. Not good. So moving forward, where are we? I've now started a trial on video. We're doing a video as we speak about Whatnot. And Whatnot itself is a program that sells. It is actually quite complex. If you see the video coming out soon on my channel, is Big Al Takes on Whatnot. And I initially put down a consideration that I'm going to put 1,000 garments on sale, fashion garments. But I've already seen Whatnot, and it scared the shit clean out of me. It is absolutely undeniable that everything's sold for a bloody quid. Brand new stuff. I could not believe the sheer things that are being given away on Whatnot. What is the future? Now, guys, just so you know, the channel is on the chat program. I have put down a blanket just for subscribers to talk. I don't want anyone that isn't a subscriber not to be involved in my channel, so we can have a qualitative conversation with really good people in my channel. So everyone that said something, you will all be acknowledged and spoken to on what you've said so far. So appreciate the comments as I'm starting my introduction, and we can all go through it. So I'm going to say hello to everybody in a moment once I finish my conversation, my initial opener, and I hope you've got a lot to say about it. Now, Whatnot to me looks extremely scary. would you believe, for the first time in doing business, I'd done that car boot video, guys. That was real. And I made a lot of money. And it is absolutely what I could say. If you really wanted to hide some money from the Inland Revenue, car booting is it. The way I say it quite simply is that, if you really want cash, do some car boot sales. And the profit yield is actually pretty good. I'm actually making more money now on the car boot sales, even though people want to bargain. I actually can make a lot more money on the car boot sales than I can on eBay, given the fact that I only have to pay 10 quid entry fee into a thing, work for 3 hours, and I make 400 to 500 quid. So, and I don't pay any tax on it if I choose to be a non-taxpayer, because I wouldn't say if I choose to be immoral, because the way I see it right now is the immorality or the morality of tax has changed a bit. And I, for one, am absolutely pissed at the government spending my hard-earned money and all my staff's hard-earned money on stupid things that really I'm not in the mood for talking about on my channel. But there is a new channel about the sheer ineptitude of government, which I'm doing, which is going to be called Big Al Takes on the UK. And I'm going to have a lot to say about the bullshit spending that's going on with my money. And I spend a lot of money in tax. I get myself constantly in debt with tax, man. And I hate the bastards when they're collecting for people who don't know how to look after our money. So watch that space. Big Al Takes on the UK channel. It's going to start, and it's going to be in this podcast with Not With the Shoes. So the final thing we talked about was the tax. I've talked about whatnot, and I'm going to talk about the Amazon scenario at the minute. So Amazon themselves have never really changed since GPSR. eBay have done all the changing. They've done all the messing around, all the fecking, messing people's accounts up, buyer protection. Remember, I look at the idea of buyer protection as a scenario where we've got likes of the IRA. Let's assume the IRA. And they come to me back in the noughties saying to me, we'll protect you, Alan. You pay me £100 a week and I'll protect you from any issues. And I was going, well, what do you need to protect me for? I don't need protected. I've never had a need for protection ever before. Well, we'll just protect you. And when things go wrong, we'll have a yarn with you and we'll sort it out for you. Now, nothing ever went wrong. So basically, this is what reminds me of the buyer protection fee. They're a protection racket. eBay has started a legalized bloody protection racket, like the mafia of New York, like every single mafia of every organized crime unit. eBay are trying to make money by protecting people from nothing. There is no issue with that. So that's my point. Whereas Amazon themselves don't do that. They make it fast, they make it quick, and they tell you that they're going to ask you to cover your minimum cost that they give you. So you're allowed. So say, for example, I buy that pen. That pen cost me £1. I could put that in Amazon. Amazon will never go below the £1 plus the postage. They won't. They will allow that. They will allow that scenario to continue to stay at a profit, that you do not lose money. You never lose money unless you choose to write it off and you sell it through. So there's my chat. There's my opening statements. Anyone that's in here, anything you to say, please, you're welcome to join me. So I'm going to go back up and read what people are saying. So Gary is welcome again, Gary. Jay. So Jay asked the question about that you're rapidly approaching the VAT threshold and unsure what to do. Now, in a time that's tough, Jay, as far as I'm concerned, try to avoid the VAT threshold. It requires a major amount of income, and it will automatically slice 20% off your outgoings or your costs, but you will have to end up paying a lot more. So if you can, ease down your business so you do not go over the threshold. I would highly advise you not to become VAT registered unless you pull over double that. Then when you get the stock. Now remember, Jay, your stock has to be bought with VAT accruing. So if you're buying from, say, for example, a charity shop, or you're buying from, say, for example, boot places, don't do it. Don't get yourself VAT registered at all. Avoid it. In fact, there is a scheme where you'll be able to avoid that. And there is a VAT scheme for that, for someone who buys antique goods from people and they're not getting a VAT receipt. So go to that one. Maybe advice is, of course, don't take financial advice from me. I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to it, but I would highly advise you to source an accountant at the cost of maybe $1,500 a year, and they will give you the best advice for your future. But my advice, if you're coming close to the VAT threshold, as much as it's nice to have a VAT number, if you are not VAT accruing and you are just simply are not VAT accruing with VAT sales taken off, then my advice is don't do it. That's my strongest advice. So the amount of parcels I got out was 125 thereabouts, 120, 125, and tomorrow's going to be a bigger day. My sales have already exceeded £3,500 today because of that. That's really good. That's the busiest I've seen it in the last year. If that works out, that's really £900,000 if I continue doing £3,000 a day. That's not just with eBay, by the way. It's with Amazon also. So Jason, again, welcome again. Chris, welcome. Gavin, welcome. Gary, again. Jason. So they're all saying hello. Anthony, when Albay's platform starts, says Alibaba, eBay. So I've always wanted to start a online selling platform for a while now, and I've been thinking about it, but I feel that I'm too old. I have the money to start the business, to go to other people for, let's say, for more investment, VCs and the likes. And I could probably raise in around 20 to 30 million quid to start this thing, because that's what it would need. And it would need to be a product made by sellers, where I would get every top seller in the country to get themselves involved in the design of this. A panel of 100 paid people, sellers, 100, 150 people that would give absolutely productive solutions to how we should sell on a platform very much like eBay, but better. So I would love to have that. So, and Jay has said your lives are great. Thank you very much, Jay. So the packing is coming to an end. I won't be doing the packing very much now because we've now set up a structure. The system's working very well, and it's time to move back into the main upper echelons of my businesses, get back to the construction, get back to the rentals, and get back to making more money. I'm trying to buy 3 more properties this year, and I want to make sure that I've got time to do so. So my friends are all here, and my family are here, so thank you very much for joining me. Kaloop, I think there are a lot of people quitting eBay and Amazon right now, and I think that we need to survive. It'll turn soon. So if there's not an alternative at the minute, there's going to be pressure from us as sellers, and we have to constantly give eBay pressure. There's something that I thought about for a while, and it's coming to that point where I'm getting quite large in my scale, not only over my personal scale, I'm putting weight on again, but in my scale of presentation and my support that I have from my channel followers. And I want to think about an idea also of putting together, again, a group of people that come together in an official capacity where they're paid members of online sellers, and they have a voice of power with money, and then they can lobby eBay and lobby Amazon, where they have special lobbyist people paid for by our group, where we go to these people and say, this needs to end, this needs to change, and here is the reason for the change, and this is how we can make it better. That is something I would do, and I would have the time and the money to do myself, and I would invest it into it, where we have enough eBayers, both small, medium, and large, that would get together and pay for a subscription fee to become a part of an online union of online eBay sellers or Amazon sellers, or just simply an online union of eBay sellers. And we are the voice, not these patsies that continually go with the flow with eBay. That's the way it is. Deal with it and talk shite on some of their eBay platforms about how their sales are when it's all fibs. It's all projection. It's not right. And people have come to me for the truth. People have come to me and said, Alan, what is going on? Why is my sales not doing so bad? Oh, Alan's not doing so well either. But yet some people claim that they're doing well, selling their 10 items a week. It's not the same. And there are professional full-timers that really need to listen to the people that are telling the truth versus the patsies. And these patsies need to stop, patsying to eBay for as far as I'm concerned. So, Anthony, eBay or someone, didn't someone make an AI bot yet? Now, I hear from firsthand evidence, I haven't seen the software yet, from a company that's developing an AI bot that wants me to try and promote it and sponsor it in the UK. And I think it's going to be a great thing. This AI photograph system will be where you take a photograph and it lists it for you. And you could do maybe 1,000 listings a day, which would be great. Canada shipping destroys business. 50% of the country's broke. Only necessary consumption, food, rent, majority. Absolutely. Anthony, you're spot on, mate. Kaloop says Westminster really is making it impossible to employ staff via legislation, let alone the margins being squeezed with eBay policy. eBay business or businesses may survive, but jobs may not. You're absolutely right, Kaloop. Now, the minimum wage and the above living wage is what I pay my staff. I pay my staff between 13 and 15 quid an hour. Now, that's not viable to do listings at 10 minutes a listing. It's just not viable because some of the stock that we sell are low ticket items. And I want to get rid of that stock before I move into the high ticket stuff that I'm doing. But minimum wage and the cost of running regulatory requirements from eBay has made it unviable. So AI may be the new answer to it. I hope that it will change. I hope that something will happen very quickly. Not putting my staff out of their jobs, but actually having AI do the listings for us. That'd be cool. Or else eBay, wake up, take off half the shit that we need to put on and actually give us a basic listing tool again like we had. Makes sense? Anyway, Craig, welcome to the channel. Thank you again for being a super member. And Andrew says, let's get it done. So Andrew is the person that's involved in my channel. He's the one that's going to be helping me design the Big Al store and help me with some of the tech things that I'm not struggling with for intellectual understanding, but struggling with time. I'm running too many businesses and it's taking a massive toll on my time. And I cannot juggle any more balls than I'm doing. So Anthony says, we'll see you again soon. Today, Swamp will work. So Anthony, you're away already. Sorry that you've gone so quickly, but thank you very much from Canada. Reseller Rowboat, so glad to catch your live stream. Thank you for joining the channel. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, because anyone that talks in here right now is a subscribed member. I would rather keep it quiet because, as you remember in the live, the packing I was doing, I was absolutely blasted with so many people trying to create whatever it was they were trying to, the anarchy. So I like a quiet environment so we can have qualitative communication with each other. So anyone that's watching, please hold on and wait and stay with the channel. I really would appreciate it. And down window cleaning, sir. Window cleaning. How are you, sir? I hope you're well, and I hope business is going well for you. Jason, still holding back my eBay listings. Car boot stock ready to go. We'll pull up beside you for the banter. Oh, where are you going, mate? Jason, where are you going, buddy? I would love to join you. We should do it together. Do a collab. That'll be class. I would say one of my subscribers is here. So hopefully this week I'd be going to the car boot on Saturday morning if it doesn't rain. I don't like rain. I hate bloody rain. So if the rain is going, I will be going to one in outside Lisburn. So I'll be driving down from Dromore into Lisburn with my stock. My Range Rover is packed and I can't get any more stock in. I'm selling all my knives, all the stuff that eBay can't do, and that's it. So, where are we? Hello, where are we now? The bigger problem could be, we're up a bit. Where are we now? So, Chris, thank you very much for joining the channel, and I will tell him. I feckin' will, mate. And there's John. He's joined the channel. Thank you very much for joining me, John. So Andrew McGowan has said the bigger problem that can be sometimes you don't pay the ones looking to protect you. It's them ones who end up attacking. Okay. What was that about? Did I forget what I said? So I do apologize, Andrew. It sounds extremely... So John said hello to everybody. I just employed a young fella for a second job and he's getting shafted for wanting to work. It's mad. That's the truth. So you get punished for working hard. The punitive taxes that come in, it's 5% for me, and the more taxes my staff pay when they work harder. What the feck is going on with society where it pays you to be a bum? What's going on, guys? The more you work, the less tax you should pay. That's it. The harder you work, the more taxes or less. That is giving people an incitement to work. That's telling them to go out and get a fecking job or be self-employed like me and John and every other else. Jay. So Jay, you're right. He's targeted 60 revenue this year, smashing that, and we'll get to the threshold if not careful. I'm accruing VAT from stock purchases. Okay. So as long as there's 100% VAT stock revenue, no problem at all. But try really hard to keep yourself below the threshold before you take that jump. The VAT man will throttle 20 grand for every 100 grand you make. So you go up to 100G, you got 20 grand to pay the tax man minus your costs. So if your margin is a 2-to-1 margin, you're going to be paying £10,000 to the VAT man that you've never had to pay before. Remember that, guy. So that's the way it is, Jay. Just make sure that you don't just push it up. 2-to-1 ratio is basically a double your money. 3-to-1 ratio is a 33% off your cost, and it's 66% profit. Doesn't matter. You need to be making quad, so 25% or more, so it's 25% of your bottom costs, which is a 75% net. And that's when you hit the 100 grand, you'll be able to safely go over and be able to afford your VAT. That's the way it should go. So where are we? So there's thanks, but no thanks. Again, welcome to the channel. You've been such a great follower, like Craig, like Gary. Jay's joined us so many times now. Kevin's in, and Kevin's a good friend of mine from old time. He was the man that saw me at the, and I still hold a very big light to that guy. Solid gent. If you want, take a look at his stuff. Flame and Anvil. Go on his site. He does a really good product. He hand makes the stuff himself. He's a quality businessman. Does his stuff. Works very bloody hard for his money. So thanks, but no thanks. But he's flaked out. Yeah. Very good. He's flaked. Gary, Robbie is in. Robbie, welcome to the live. That's twice I've seen you in, but welcome, sir. I've not heard Leslie today. Leslie hasn't joined us. Our friend Leslie. When I think of Robbie, I think of my team of mentors, and Robbie being one, of course, and Leslie being another. And RB Rail, welcome to the channel. I don't think I've spoken to you before, but welcome to the channel. Let's see what your name is so I can get who you are. Gary's in, Robbie, Craig, Jason, Gareth. Welcome, sir. Been watching you all while editing the wedding videos. You doing the editing too. Good luck with the YouTube. It's doing well, Gareth. Really doing well for me, buddy. It's we're about to hit 30,000 subscribers. It's slowing down because, again, I've been doing just lives and not as many videos. I've not been able to do anything really prolific in regards to the YouTube videos, purely because the lives and the eBay business has really taken control of my life at the minute. But I will be doing more videos. We've got a tenant leaving the house. I've got another one where I'm doing the cottage, doing up the cottage ready for rent. And yeah, so there's going to be a couple of rental stuff going out. So it's doing really well. I'm making a good income from the YouTube, and that's nice money coming in from me. So I'm really glad of it. So there we are. And yep, 20% is horrific. I think I need to ease off, work smarter. Yes, you don't want to be giving any money to the revenue unnecessarily at the minute, especially when there's a recession on. Because once you're in with the VAT, it's hard to get back out. There'll be inspections, they'll be hard. And there's Barbethalian or Barbethalian. Claire B. Evening, everyone, and welcome to the channel, says Claire. And thank you very much for joining me, Claire. Thanks, Big Al. Wife had a setback, so was offline for 2 weeks. Sorry to hear it, mate. I hope she's okay. I assume it's her health. So, yeah, Chop Busy. Did you know Chop Busy won some money off me today? How much he's won is all dependent on what he buys in my store. So when he goes back from holidays, he's going to be buying from me. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, Richard's a friend of Gary Ross. Okay. Well, that's cool. Because of that, I'm going to make you a moderator, RB, because you're a mate of Gary. Welcome to the channel. I hope to see you much more. Craig, buy a place in Port Slade. Where are you, Gary? Where are you, mate? I don't know. There you go. So there's Kevin. So Kevin's Flaming Anvil, he said he's went over the limit this year. Can't wait to get back on the VAT limit to do cash for the rest. You know what? The way I see it is cash is becoming the king. CDCs are about to take over. I am certainly not looking forward to the aspect of, yeah. And I'm going to talk about that, thanks, but no thanks. That's a great thing to say about HMRC. HMRC are coming for a lot of people. The way I see it is cash, cash, cash. Don't let them. And remember, there are ways of doing it. Back in the old days, let me tell you about some of the old things I did, old school. So remember, guys, I've been in business for 34 years. And when I first started doing business, everybody paid me cash. We didn't have credit card machines. We didn't have checks. And if we did get checks, they bounced a lot. So in regard to the way that it works with cash, I will give you secrets today while you're on my channel. And you are more than welcome to be HMRC because I'm just simply giving advice of what is cash. Now, I do pay my taxes. I don't get any cash in, which is a terrible thing. The £300 that I got in, I simply paid it in bonuses to staff and people that I cared about. So in regards to the issues of tax, how to make it happen. If you get paid cash, use it for buying groceries. Do not use it for holidays. Do not use it for cars. Do not use it for things that are big key items that you have to go in and you have to get a receipt for that can be got again. Groceries is one of the best way to lose cash. Buy an annual cash or fuel for your car, but make sure you lose the receipt. When you are buying cash like that, that is the only way to dispense of cash at a micro level. You cannot sell or buy cars anymore with cash. You cannot buy gifts for people anymore. There are things that come in and over a certain amount of money, people don't want to take it. You can have bonus money if you want, Craig. You are the man. You are the man. I can give you some now. Oh, where's my wallet? It's away. So while the recession's coming in, the government's going to be really shaking that money tree. And they're going to shake people like me a lot more than they shake you. But they will come to shake you. And they will say things which they used to say to me all the time. I had an inspection from a VAT inspector or tax inspector, actually, because the VAT and the tax inspection departments are different. And we were in the inspection in the accountant's office. And as she was walking out, she said, well, you can cover up your floorboards again, she said. And I took massive offense to that because at that time, I couldn't get cash. Cash died on me in retail about 9-10 years ago. I gave up because it wasn't viable because there were so many middlemen taking my money, just like eBay on the retail front, where the revenue was continually taking more and more of my business. And I just couldn't afford to sustain a retail environment. That's may have changed now because of the way I'm buying stuff online, selling stuff online. But if you really want to make money, Cash. Car boots, gardening, window cleaning, buying and selling sofas, would you believe? Doing things that other people will pay. Running a Chinese restaurant, because nobody takes bloody card there. Um, Cash businesses are getting fewer and fewer. A hairdresser, that's good. Barber shop, buy a few Turkish barbers. But cash is good. Yeah, I know. But the way it is that when it comes to the revenue, you must pay your taxes. It's just that the revenue are going after the wrong bloody people. And I'm not saying it's the billionaires that need to go on. They do need to make industry work. And what they're doing is they're trying very hard to soak money from something that is not there. Window cleaning. Well, yes, absolutely. You're a professional window cleaner. I know what you mean. But we pay cash. Any of my window cleaner takes cash and cash only. But yeah, the business itself of regulating your income is changing, and eBay has become one of the patsies for the government. So 500 quid being taxed isn't good for you, because you're going to pay capital gains tax on that, or earnings tax, and it could go in between 25 and 45%, depends on how much you've used to buy the stock with. Because remember, if you haven't got invoices for the stock that you sold on eBay and HMRC come knocking, they're going to assume you got that stuff for free. And they're going to do that. They're going to do that. If you haven't got receipts or valid receipts for stuff you buy and you sell on eBay as a private seller, and they look and see 500 quid made, they're going to max you. They're going to max you because you've no evidence, written evidence to suggest otherwise. And that's what the HMRC do. Prove it. They don't go by your suggestion. Oh, but I bought 100 quid's worth of stock. People who go around these car boot sales can say anything, and it's their word against the HMRC. And that's where you're in danger. There are people here that are selling and buying from car boot sales and buying from people that I don't. I get receipts, and I am massively heavy vested into buying stock from professional companies, so that when it comes to my inland revenue results, including my VAT, I get it back 100%. And that's what's making me wealthier than the average eBayer, because I do my business properly. I account for my tax and I pay my tax right. But when it comes to cash, I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong that eBay should be given that information across, and that they have become the tax collector from HMRC for the smaller ones that are just earning a bit of bob from stuff they found in the house or something they got for free and it was donated to them. It's not fair. I am a professional company and I deserve to pay taxes. But what I do deserve is the freedom of money to make my business grow. And that is not happening at the minute. You'll find that the revenue and the government have decided to put major freedoms on us as a provider of income. You want income from me? I can be the person that facilitates the money that the UK needs. And there are millions of people like me. But the problem they have is they don't see what we do. They don't recognize the efforts that we are. It's not the billionaires that make the money. It's people like me that do the 500, 600, 700, 8,000, even 1 million, 2 million, 5 million turnover. I am a micro business according to the revenue. So they're not looking after us, and they're punishing the people that work for me. There's a 5% revenue that I have to pay on top of what I paid already. And I see it. I see the money going out to the revenue, and I'm going, I can't afford this. This business is a company, is a corporation, and I can't afford to pay the revenue a percentile more than the 5%. I'm losing money. Therefore, I cannot afford my tax bill. So, because guess who? eBay's taking more money. The customers still want the stock at the same bloody price. So we have got what they call a non-return, where people are buying stock. They haven't got their pay rise. The pay rise never happened. That extra 10% pay rise that the HMRC gave, that oh, I love it. So That's so the extra 5%. I am going to say hello to the HMRC. So HMEMERC has, and that's right, John. That is why everyone is moving. I am not going to move. I've made a decision. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep fighting this fight because I do believe that the UK will change. There's new governments coming on boards, and I really do believe that. But when it comes to HMRC, I can't keep myself a serious face. Whoever it is, blah, well done. You're probably a friend, but well done. I want you to stay in there from now on. And you always get a bit scary, don't you? When, oh, HMRC are coming on board. But anyway, so I've lost my train of thought. So the governments themselves do want us to make money, but they're inept. They're not good politicians. And they've made these rules to think they can get more from the coffers of the UK payers, but they can't. What they've done is they've spent the money wrongly. We need to stop spending the billions on UK national aid. We need to stop and reduce that and start putting it back into the economy. They need to put more government loans back into the business to allow us to go buy new stock with the wholesalers and the manufacturers that are in the UK that are trying very hard to survive manufacturing and wholesaling for the UK. We're no longer in the Europe. So what we have here is a definitive difference where we have to concentrate fully back down on our own business, our own economies. So what's going on? All the strippers I watch demand cash. Love it, Rob. So in regards to, and they don't pay tax. The way I see it is that we do need to pay taxes, guys. It is fair that we do pay taxes, but when the taxes are spent right, I hate it having to pay the tax bill. I hate them brown envelopes coming in. I'm getting traumatized by the amount of brown paper coming through the door recently. It seems to be the administrative cost of taxing me has gone up because they continually send more and more packs of information to me that totally blinds me with a major pile every week, more and more letters. I'm sick of it. So anyway, there it is. There's my error on that. Al should buy one. The Peter Sterling fellow of Northern Ireland. Maybe I should, John. Anyway, this has been 47 minutes into the conversation. I believe it's been a great conversation. It's been a good thrower. Has anyone anything to say before we start rising up and saying goodbye? Anyone? I think I've said it all. Now, tomorrow I'm doing a big video on Whatnot. The next day I'm doing another video on packing. We've done sales now. Let's have a look at this. So I'm coming close to $4,000 of sales. The ka-chings keep going. I'm very pleased with the sales of what I've done. So it's been very good. So I'm doing another live tomorrow. Just dropping by to say you're funny. I see you, HMRC, putting them things in my YouTube, you little git. You're funny. How to embarrass Big Al has come up as HMRC. The fear I have of HMRC. But anyway, someone's calling me from no caller ID and I can't take the call. Sorry about that, guys. So if that's you, I'm sorry, but I should I take the call? No caller ID? Afraid not. Anyway, listen, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. We are 50 minutes into it. Let's see what Jay has to say. 4K will fuel the Range Rover for a week. Yeah, I'm afraid it will. The Range Rover's not going at the minute. I'm not using it. I'm just using... oh, John, you little bugger. I know that's you little flid. I'll bust you. So, SD Flips, well, hope you're well. You've come at the end. Yes, you have. But welcome to the channel. I appreciate you coming back. Amy, we're going. It's the end. So I'm 15 minutes in. Jay, the only thing to say is, when will government realize that lower tax is what will grow the economy, not higher tax? I don't think it's going to be this government. I think it's going to be our new government, which is going to be Reform UK. So we have to bite down and bite the bullet forever until them buggers get out. Kia Stalin. Yes, we're going. It's the end of the film or the end of the live. I've been doing nearly 2 hours of live, guys. So thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate everyone coming. Please remember to share my things or share my videos and keep commenting in my videos because it really does make my channel grow. I'm hoping to get 30,000 by the end of the month. Please help me. Please achieve this success. I'd be very grateful. There's going to be a big party on the 30,000 party. I will spend a fortune, and anyone that's more than welcome to come and see me at the 30,000 party that I'll be doing probably on a lawn somewhere because it's going to be nice and warm. But thanks for watching. Please remember to look after us. Thanks, guys. Bye.